So my name is Bobby Benally. I am a producer slash anchor for KCBD News Channel 11 here in Lubbock, Texas. And my hometown is originally San Juan, New Mexico, and I now live here in Lubbock, Texas. Well, family of, I have my sister, my mom and dad, Bobby and Sylvia Gomez, and my sister, Ali Benally. My sister now lives in Clovis, but mom and dad still live in San Juan. Born and raised there. I was born in Las Cruces, Mexico, and then pretty much after that moved back to my hometown. Once I did that, I was born and raised, went to high school pretty much from preschool all the way to graduating as a senior in high school. And once I did that, I went to a University of Southwest in Hobbs my freshman year, played baseball down there for a year. Then I decided to transfer to Eastern New Mexico. And at that time, I was actually going as a criminal justice major. So I wanted to be a police officer, work in law enforcement pretty much my whole life. And that was my whole entire dream, was to do that. And then once I got the call from my mom saying, well, if you're going to do that, you're going to law school after you graduate, which I didn't want to do. Did not want to go to more school. So all of a sudden, Eastern, when I was at Eastern, the tryouts for News 3 New Mexico came up. I went and tried it out and pretty much changed my major right then and there, and was at broadcast journalism, and that's what I did for my rest of my, pretty much my high school, my college career. To be closer to home, born and raised, just close-knit family. So moving 3.5 hours away from home was tough. I know some people enjoy going out and about, and for me, it was just being close to my family. My sister was also attending Eastern. My cousin was, so just being with my family at that time was real important to me. And I knew about Eastern ever since from junior high all the way to my senior year. So I always knew how small knit the campus was, and how just I enjoyed just the size of it, I guess you can say. It wasn't too big, wasn't too small. It was just perfect for me. I mean, there's so many of them that is just too tough to count on just one hand, whether it's from Dr. Dobson, whether, she's one of the best. She's great. Alonzo Lassiter, who used to be an instructor for me, just all the way to Alan Crawford, who's now the news director there for News 3 New Mexico, just giving us bits and pieces on what to do, what to expect. Another professor, I don't believe he's there now, Dr. Chad Painter. I took a media ethics class for him my senior year, and it was 3 hours long just for one day a week. And just learning just how the media works and how to just be ethical and just figure out what goes where and the do's and don'ts. And that's where I took a lot out of, was Dr. Chad Painter's class, and it was great. But pretty much any instructor that I took bits and pieces of, and that's what got me to my career now. In this industry, it's with broadcast journalism, whether you're a producer, whether you're an anchor, whether you're working the cameras behind the scenes or anything like that, you try to be the best you can be. And you want, as a journalist, the number one rule is to tell the truth. Never lie, always tell the truth. And that's what I strive to do every day, whether it's producing a newscast, whether it's anchoring a newscast during the week, whether it's in the weekends or whatever. I want to make sure that the information that I put out to the state, pretty much to Lubbock, Texas, and the South Plains, is the truth, and it's 100% accurate, and people can rely on that. Our motto here is coverage you can count on, and that's what we strive for every day. Prepare for a lot of hard work, deadlines. You do not procrastinate one bit. And I was a big procrastinator in high school and in college. Just, you got to meet certain deadlines when it comes to this industry. And whether it's a day turn, whether you have to produce breaking news, whether you're in the middle of a newscast and you got to handle breaking news, whether it's a SWAT standoff, whether it's anything ranging from an active shooter to a crash on the highway, just to be prepared to make sure that you get the most accurate news out there in a timely manner. That's one of the greatest things. It's always one of those things, you leave your work at work, so once you get home, it's just care about your family. So balancing this kind of lifestyle, whether it's, you could have a bad day at work, you could have a good day at work, it doesn't matter. It's just, once you punch out your time card and get home, it's, you just worry about your family and just take care of your family, and you try to just stay away from the news kind of thing. And it's hard to do. I mean, you got social media, you got TV going, it doesn't matter. There's always news. The news never sleeps. And I try my best to stay away from my phone, and it's a challenge, but with an 8-month-old, he's all hands on deck, and it's constant. Just, you got to try to balance that out. Weekends, if I'm not working, or if I'm on call or something, I try just to stay away from the social media and just be with my wife and kid. That's what I try to do. I enjoyed my practicums, because I mean, you learned on the fly. You learned how to produce, you learned how to anchor, you learned audio, you learned how to run tapes, you learned how to run a camera. And that's what I enjoyed the most, was doing that. And I mean, I got credit for it, and that was pretty great. I wasn't sitting in a classroom for an hour and a half to 2 hours looking at a book. And I'm one of those learners that I'm hands-on. You have to show me how do you do it. If you just say, go to chapter 3 and read this, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to do that. So I think it was pretty much, I mean, all the classes I learned something from, but my practicums, learning hands-on, that's what I enjoyed the most. Hobbies outside of work. I'm a big golfer. I golf as much as I can. A big family guy. I honestly, right now in the football season, on weekends, it's pretty much just stay home with baby and wife, and we just watch football the entire day. My wife, Courtney, doesn't like it, but she enjoys just being home with us, and I love it more than anything itself. And I think one of a good friend of mine, he said the greatest hobby is being a dad, and it's the best job anyone can have. And he's correct. It's the best job I've ever had, is being a dad. And it's my favorite thing to do, is just spending weekends with him, I mean, there's always times where you go play golf, or just be with other friends, or do something else, or just hang out. That's pretty much my hobbies outside of the workplace. Right now, we're in the process of handling a digital news desk. So pretty much all of your news nowadays is through social media, through your phone, through Facebook Lives, whether it's, even if you have a push alert through any news organization, CNN, NBC News, Fox News, if you just have certain push alerts from your local TV stations, anything like that, we're allowed to do that through a digital news desk, so we can stream right on the spot news. And right now we're in the works of handling a digital news desk, and that's one of the things that I'm spearheading as well, and I'll probably most likely be contributing to that quite a bit. I mean, social media is going to be here. It's here to stay. And a lot of people feel like broadcast news, whether it's weaning out, which it isn't. I mean, people still are loyal to their TV newscast. They still watch 6 o'clock, the 10 o'clock news, the 5 o'clock news. They still watch all that. Social media, it's here to stay. And that's one of the things that the digital news desk we're transitioning to, is trying to get those viewers that are on their phones. Well, we're going to give you a broadcast product through social media. And it's kind of the way the world works nowadays. It's just through social media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, even Instagram. We get a lot of people send us stuff on Instagram, Facebook Messenger, and then that allows us to dig a little deeper and be like, hey, we saw this on social media and thought, let's do a story on this kind of thing. I know it's not possible, but the only other dreams that I have is just be the perfect person in the world. Basically, be the perfect husband, be the perfect father, be the perfect brother, be the perfect son. It's not possible. I mean, there's no such thing as, nobody's perfect. And I feel like every day I just try to make my life better and try to make the world around me just more perfect when it comes to that kind of thing. And I just feel like that's one of my dreams, just to be the perfect person. And it's not gonna be it's not achievable. I know that. No, and I just, every day is a new day, and I just try my best to be the perfect person out there. My favorite part about being a Greyhound at Eastern, it was just pretty much the fact that, because I was the first to graduate from my family, graduate college. So being part of just a Greyhound in general, whether we hear just other people graduating from different universities, I felt like I was a Greyhound for life, just because of just where I went, just where I grew up, being from a small town of 200 people. I just felt like, it felt like I achieved something, and which I did. I mean, I graduated, I got a great career, I got a great wife, kid, family, everything. And I have Eastern New Mexico to thank for that.